surface a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need, what you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic, believe you could have it. And I know of sadness, the anxious and panic, the infinite vastness of all that is blackness.
Hey guys, how you going? I'm trying to remember to turn my microphone on before I start so that doesn't sit there, I don't sit there talking and nothing's happening. Hey Deb, hey Danny, hey Shannon, how you going? Oh, God love you. Early fee. G'day from the Riverland, South Australia. Shannon said moist mist rising. Good on you. We've got a nice sunny hot day today apparently. So got Alex, how you going? Cynthia, how you going? Out to lunch, how you going? A few minutes from house, see you in a little bit. Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Yeah, I meant to come on actually on yesterday. And I had to babysit 4 days this week. So what I did was I had my granddaughter from Monday to Wednesday at my house, and then went down the next day. I went down on Wednesday and cleaned for my daughter, and then went down on Thursday and did it again. So yeah, I've been busy this week, but I did do a video yesterday, and I did put the chickens and turkey up the day before. So, and I did say last night I think I was going to go live in the morning, which is now 9:34 a.m. on Friday in Australia. I was just listening to Jerry Gambuti. He has MRE on his chat. He's an Australian, Australian. And they were talking about Australia. It was a lovely, lovely conversation. I didn't want to go. Oh, no. Oh, but anyway, we're here. So we're going to do some news. And I forgot about the call-in show. So that will be, I'm thinking Sunday, which is your Saturday night. I'll have a call-in show. I'll do the normal live stream tomorrow, and yeah, we'll do the call-in show on Sunday. How does that sound? Hope it sounds good. Sounds good to me. Belinda, hello. Susie, hello. Yes, you heard that 16 other small banks have folded. What I've heard is that there's 5 banks, a lot of and one in the UK, and they had ceased trading, so they'd halted trading. But I am hearing there could be some effect to small banks. Not sure. But anyway, we know Biden is paying off the rich, covering their backsides again. Yes, Susie, you did beg me to do a live. Yep, it's kicking off. And Nursing Muskrat said, indeed. Hey, Luna, how you going? Susie said, hi, all you lovelies around the world. Okay, we got Nursing Muskrat. Yep, Deb. Anyone else we got in here? Eyes, how you going? And D. Lee, how you going? I'm just going through to say hello. Sherry, how you going? MJ, how you going? Suzanne, how you going? And who else have we got? That Lanazi, how you going? Good to see you guys. Okay, I'm going to move over to the news. There is stuff that I didn't get to cover yesterday on the stream I did the video I did yesterday. I'm so over this. Said early 1980s they were talking about this, the planned surrender of Australia to the new economic international order. We'll just have a little listen because it goes for 29 minutes and I can't do the whole thing.
The planned surrender of Australia. So perhaps we might start by plunging right in by raising the question called the new international economic order. Now, if you listen to the critics of the League, of course, that's just simply a product of Eric Butler or his colleagues' overheated imagination. The idea there's any sort of a program like that is too silly for words. Well, let us look just at hard facts. Let us first start with the Australian Labor Party's own platform. And in that Australian Labor Party platform, you can read in black and white that that particular political party is pledged to incorporate Australia into the new international economic order, which means, in essence, that our total economy must be incorporated into a global economy.
So Labor have been going since the beginning, in other words. I don't know how much of this there is, but whole world has already owned 1917 Russian Revolution, I don't know, and 90s oligarchs all financed by Wall Street. Mao was a Yale skull and bones. Nations not ready to give up imaginary sovereignty, so owners created external boogeymen to maintain control with false patriotism. Tell a friend. There you go. Australia's been, well, we've all been since screwed, if you want to put it that way, since the central banks came into it. Ian Miles Chong said, send Ukraine another 10 billion. I can't play the music. Just let me, in case it does. But yeah, okay. Dancing Ukrainian soldiers now. Oh, dancing Ukrainian soldiers. Look at this. You better send more money because they got time to do this rubbish. It's like the nurses doing TikTok videos. How did they have time? Major pandemic. How did they have the time? This is ridiculous. Seriously. Yeah, by the way, the banks are failing and Joe Biden's sending more to Ukraine. Lovely. Rage against the vaccines in Moldova. Demonstrations are taking place today in the centre of the capital. It's happening in a lot of places, let me tell you right now. Rage Against the Vaccine said mannequins bearing the likeness of Emmanuel Macron, Elizabeth Bourne, Oliver Varane, I don't know how to say that, and Oliver Dussopt, burnt in Dijon. Okay. Oh dear. I don't recommend doing that, but wow. Good on Rage Against the Vaccine said thousands of demonstrators flocked to, okay, I can't read these, in Paris, okay? Spontaneous protests are expected across the country. This is going on all over Europe. There are protests going on everywhere. I believe they're still going on in Australia, mainly in Melbourne. Okay, I shared this because of this. I don't know if I can actually play this. There's a lot of swearing in it. Ian Miles Chong said transgender person threatens assaults, kicks father out of room on a live stream over being misgendered. Imagine raising a child like this. What I might do is I'm going to turn the desktop audio down pretty low because he's screaming. And I don't know if I should play this. Let's have a look.
fucking drunk piece of shit! Get the fuck out of here! Get out of my room! Get out of my room! You don't need to fucking save my transgender daughter! You saved my own fucking daughter! Exactly. Then why'd you save my transgender daughter?
And it just keeps going on, and he eventually starts pushing his father out of the room. I don't want to play the whole thing, but this is really a mental illness. I don't think it's going to play now. Is it going to play? No. Okay, Twitter won't let me play it now. But yeah, it's insane, okay? These people are mentally unwell in general, and instead of getting them the help they desperately need, we parade around in the name of love and acceptance that this is normal. What a shame. They need help. That person definitely needs help. I don't know if you heard much of that, but it was just F-bombs every 2 seconds, and he eventually pushed his father out of the room and kept saying that his father was attacking him. Her. Shim. I don't know. James Lindsay said RIP the UK. Steve Malloy said UK judge rules that climate mental patients blocking traffic is not a crime. Judge Amanda Kelly holds blocking traffic is covered by European Convention on Human Rights provisions regarding freedom of assembly. Hey, they weren't that big on freedom of assembly when it was against lockdowns. No, just when they agree with it. No bailouts. Pozo said paediatrician used hidden camera bracelet to secretly record patients ages 6 to 11. The person has been charged with possession of child porn in Massachusetts. Dear God, what is this world coming to? In February, 32-year-old Dr. Bradford Ferrick, just remember that name, don't ever take your children to see this doctor, or yourself really. A resident doctor in Massachusetts was arrested and charged, oh, well, you probably can't see him now because he's been arrested and charged for possessing thousands of videos and images of child porn, many of which were of his young patients, whom he secretly recorded with multiple hidden cameras. According to the New York Post, U.S. Attorney Rachel Rowland said, I can think of no greater fear as a parent or guardian than potential harm coming to your child. Today we allege that this doctor, who held a position of trust with access to children, maintained abuse material related to children. Okay, I don't think I need to read any more of that. Sickening. But doctors are not above... Oh, my mouse is terrible. Doctors are not above this, okay? So, I don't know, people putting doctors on a pedestal, I don't think it's a great idea. The Gateway Pundit said Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen admits Joe Biden's inflation crisis is linked to the banking crisis. Of course it is. The whole thing's linked. Joe Biden runs America, he's running the free world, and look at the state of it. Where's the story? Oh, there it is, down below. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen admits Joe Biden's inflation crisis linked to the banking crisis. She said on Thursday, she testified before the Senate Finance Committee on Biden's 2024 budget proposal. Yellen was also grilled about the Silicon Valley Bank's failure. Silicon Valley Bank shuttered last Friday after it was unable to produce enough cash for depositors. Senate Finance Committee ranking member Mike Crapo got Janet Yellen to admit Biden's inflation crisis led to rapid rate hikes, which then led to the banking crisis. Senator Crapo, is that how you say it? Crapo? Maybe? I don't know. Sounds weird saying Crapo. Said SVB's capital was losing value and they were not able to access their capital because of the Federal Reserve Chairman's decision to rapidly hike rates in 2022. Yellen admitted Biden's inflation crisis ultimately led to the banking crisis. Duh. Blind Freddy could see it. My understanding is that the bank, to meet liquidity needs, had to sell assets that it expected to hold to maturity, and given that the interest rate increases that have occurred since those assets including treasuries and government-backed mortgage-backed securities, they had lost market value, Yellen said. Thank you, Deb. You know what? They did it to themselves. Joe Biden did this. This is hilarious. Sorry. I don't mean it like if anyone loses money, it's not funny for them. But this is like the banking sector is being exposed right now. And what we're seeing is they did this to themselves. Joe Biden and his inflation has caused Silicon Valley to, their bank to stop working. Sorry, I can't help it. I think it's funny in that way, okay, that they've done it to themselves. Cat Turd said, good grief. Daily Caller said, Jean-Pierre, there should be confidence in our banking system. Our banking system remains sound.
Confidence in our banking system. So there should be confidence in our banking system. No taxpayer money is being used or put at risk with this action. And lastly, she said our banking system remains sound and that Americans can feel confident that their deposits will be there when they need them. Confidence in our banking system.
Okay, think the opposite, okay? Because that's what's happening right now. Whatever they're saying, think the opposite, okay? Paul Joseph Watson said what they don't mention is that the council cut down the trees primarily to create cycle lanes to satiate green lefties in furtherance of the odious 15-minute city scheme. Because what have they done? Luke Pollard said overnight Plymouth's Conservative Council chopped down nearly 100 trees in the city centre. It's a scene of environmental devastation and utter council vandalism. I'm appalled at the actions of the Tory council, sad for our city. So they did this to make way for bike lanes. How environmentally friendly and is that? These people do not care about the environment. And that's on pretty much both. There's only a few politicians, and they're probably just a handful in the whole of Europe, who are doing the right thing. I don't know if there's more than that. There could be, but like it doesn't look like. It looks both sides in every country. From the council itself, a new cycle route will be a key element of the project. It's funny because they're doing the same thing in Western Sydney. There's a place called Fernview or something like that out in Western Sydney, and the government have bought the private land and are going to make a park for people to cycle around in, and I don't know. I really don't know what they're doing. They're just spending money on you, like, leave it then, you know? Sadiq Khan is constantly green lighting the chopping down of trees throughout London to create cycle lanes, particularly in the Notting Hill area, but climate catastrophe obsessives either don't care or actively lobby for it. Okay, and this is from Mark. Oh, this was interesting.
Earl, members of the board, my name is Craig Schubert. I'm the mayor of this city. It has come to my attention that your educators are distributing essentially what is child pornography in the classroom. I've spoken to a judge this evening. She's already confirmed that. So I'm going to give you a simple choice. Either choose to resign from this Board of Education, or you will be charged. Thank you.
So they've got to remove it, or they will be charged. Oh, no, sorry, they've got to resign. The school board needs to resign, or they will be charged because of what they're showing kids in schools under the banner of gender. You know, I don't know what it is. That diversity rubbish. The Gateway pundit said top executives at First Republic Bank sold millions of dollars in company stock before shares plummeted and no SEC filing. Okay, where is this one? Okay, down there. Top executive... filing or firing? Filing. Top executives at First Republic Bank sold $12 million in company stock before shares plummeted, according to Wall Street Journal. Charles Farrell said, here's another First Republic scoop. Executives sold millions in shares in the months before the crash. You might ask, why doesn't this show up in SEC filings? The stock sale does not show up. Okay. The executives filed insider forms with the FDIC thanks to a loophole in the Securities Act of 1933, the Wall Street Journal reported. Instead of filing with the SEC, First Republic files insider forms with the FDIC thanks to a quirk of the Securities Act of 1933. The executives' trades went largely unnoticed. Unlike insider sales at most companies, those at First Republic aren't required to be reported to the Securities and Exchange Commission. SEC filings of insider sales are scrutinised by investors for clues about a company's prospects. Instead, the trades were reported to the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. A handful of banks currently file these forms to the FDIC, which posts them on a website where the documents can be accessed one at a time. First Republic also publishes the disclosures individually on its website. Oh no. Of course it did. Oh dear me. Of course. Sorry guys. I'm going to get seasick shortly. Okay. Where are we? We were here somewhere. Dear God. Okay, the First Republic Bank was downgraded to junk by the S&P on Wednesday. We believe the risk of deposit outflows is elevated at First Republic Bank despite the actions of federal banking regulators and the bank actively increasing its borrowing availability to mitigate risk associated with the bank failures over the last week. Let's just say they did it to themselves for a start. I've never seen a bank run in Brentwood, Los Angeles in over 40 years. This is at the First Republic Bank branch, people standing in the rain. Okay, where? Oh. There we go. First Republic stock tumbled on Wednesday after a massive bank sell-off this week. So there you go. How have I got... Now I've got two Twitters and two... Oh my goodness. Don't mind me, guys. Tom Fitton said dishonest Biden admin official called out on big lies about who pays for the bailouts. US Senate Banking Committee Secretary Yellen admits to Senator Lankford that American community banks may be on the hook to bail out SVB's Chinese depositors. What the hell?
So what I'm asking is, will my banks in Oklahoma pay a special assessment to be able to make Chinese investors whole from Silicon Valley Bank?
Uninsured investors will be made whole in that bank, and I suppose that could include foreign depositors.
So what I'm asking is, will my banks in Oklahoma pay a special assessment to be able to make Chinese investors whole from Silicon Valley Bank?
Uninsured investors will be made whole in that bank, and I suppose that could include foreign depositors.
So what I'm asking is, will my banks in Oklahoma pay a special assessment to be able to make Chinese investors?
Just wanted to make sure that one sunk in. There you go. Unbelievable. Okay, woke or distance, because the left is saying that we can't define woke, okay? That's what they're saying. You can't define woke. Those who say we can't define woke, or that it's just a slur or substitute for the N-word, are playing word games in order to undercut your ability to highlight and criticise their ideas. So let's talk about how it works. So defining woke, a thread. Because Toure said at this point woke is a slur. The way the right uses it is an undercover way of saying those people or non-white people? What? It's a polite way... You can be white and woke. It's a polite way of saying the N-word, but in this case the N-word includes blacks, LGBTQ folks and other marginalised groups. The mental gymnastics you have to do to understand that. Harley said people have a hard time defining woke without accidentally saying they aren't able to hate minorities and not face consequences. Okay, let's have a look at the thread. This was sparked by a television interview where Bethany Mandel, who I consider a friend, was asked by the host Brianna Joy to define woke. Unfortunately, Bethany had difficulty giving a definition, and in the moment just said woke, hard to define. Okay, let's have a little look, see.
Of Americans consider themselves very liberal, and probably fewer of them consider themselves to be woke. And so, you know, when we talk about traditional...
What does that mean to you? Would you mind defining woke? Because it's come up a couple times, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
So, I mean, woke is sort of the idea that this is going to be one of those moments that goes viral. I mean, woke is something that's very hard to define, and we've spent an entire chapter defining it. It is sort of the understanding that we need to totally reimagine and redo society in order to create hierarchies of oppression.
Yeah, I don't even get that word salad. But anyway, predictably, this led to something of a pile-on as a tweet of the moment went viral on Twitter, of course, with left-leaning accounts claiming that when conservatives call things woke, that conservatives use it as a slur. Here are just a couple of examples. Do I have to say it again? No? Okay. Yeah, we've seen the same thing before. This is part of a strategy by critical social justice, aka woke activists, to protect their ideology and worldview from criticism. They want to prevent us from giving their ideology a name or a label in order to protect it from criticism. Let's look at exactly how it works. You will likely have heard social justice activists say things like, white privilege is a product of systematically racist social structures which centre whiteness and marginalise people of colour while reproducing white supremacy. This reinforces dominant power structures and a cultural hegemony that benefits cisgendered heterosexual white males at the expense of BIPOC, people of colour, Latinx, and LGBTQS2+. What? Hey, just stick the whole alphabet in there. It makes it easier. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, and the rest. We've all seen that jargon coming from people with similar views, politics and ideas, all demanding sweeping social change from the left. They may do an advocacy in different areas, but the similarity of the language and the fact that they are always concerned with oppression, privilege, systematic power, diversity, equity, inclusion, inequality, sex, race and gender indicate a coherent worldview is at work here. It's an ideology. That's what woke is. A Marxist ideology. But if we try to name that worldview, we're told the name we pick is problematic, wrong, incorrect, bigoted, misleading, or otherwise problematic. Woke, critical race theory, neo-Marxism, cultural Marxism, critical social justice, we're told all of these names are problematic. That's what it is. This inability to name this ideology prevents people from criticising the project of social, cultural and political change coming from the left. The woke want to demand social change without acknowledging, much less defending, the worldview at the centre of their project. Thus we have social and political movements, all of which use similar language, have similar policies, similar concerns, and which work together in solidarity with each other, all while claiming there is no underlying common worldview which can be given a label. Yes, there is. So I'd like to now explain what I think's going on using zebras as an analogy. This will make sense, I promise you. Many animals have fur, feathers or skin that blends into their environment. This camouflage helps them blend in and hide. This owl is a fine example. See the little owl here? Blending in with a tree. Zebras, however, are different. Zebras are covered in black and white stripes, even though the environment they live in is mostly brown and green. If you see a zebra by itself, it's very easy to see. It's like they have a neon sign over them saying, "Lions, please eat me," because they stand out. So how does zebra camouflage work? It's simple. Zebra camouflage works by making zebras blend in with the herd so that lions can't focus on any one zebra and target it. For lions to kill a zebra, they need to be able to pick one zebra, focus on it, and then go after it. But if lions can't pick a target, the zebras are safe. Look at the pictures below and see how hard it would be to keep track of any one zebra in the herd. That's like one of those, oh my goodness. Okay. Scientists discovered this as they studied zebras and got confused about which individual zebra was which because the zebras just blend into the herd. So they tried to fix this by tagging a zebra with red paint so they could keep track of it. Guess what happened? Got eaten. The lions killed the tag zebra. A tag zebra stands out from the herd so lions can tell it apart and focus the hunt on it. If a zebra gets separated from the herd, it loses the benefit of its camouflage, at which point the lions can focus on it, target it, and kill it. This is a great analogy for the game the woke are playing. Once a worldview is named and defined, it can then be pointed out, highlighted, and subjected to criticism. And they don't want that. Once you can identify a worldview or set of ideas, you can focus on it and criticize it. Naming an idea lets us separate it from the herd of other ideas. The woke don't want us to label their ideology because if that happens, we can tag examples their ideology with a label when we see it. This lets us to highlight it, point it out, and examine it when we see it. We label and name things to help us tag them so we can point them out and focus on them. The woke are trying desperately to destroy all of our linguistic tags. Woke activists do not want us to be able to single out their ideas and subject them to criticism. Woke ideas can't withstand proper, rational, and logical analysis. The lions of truth, evidence, logic, rationality, etc. will eat the zebras of wokeness, metaphorically speaking, of course. Gender ideology, critical race theory, and critical social justice for lunch, if they can focus on and identify them. So to avoid getting eaten by the lions of reason, the woke want to make their ideology impossible to focus on and tag, label, or name. They want their ideas to blend in with all other ideas, as though wokeness fits right alongside reason, evidence, logic, and rationality. We need to use labels to be able to point at, highlight, and tag concepts so they can be seen and then examined for criticism. Using labels like woke CRT and critical social justice lets us tag woke ideas so we can hold them up to the light and examine them. This is what the woke want to avoid at all costs. What the woke want is to act like all the bits of woke activism we see are unconnected phenomenon, spontaneously springing forth in the name of justice in an organic and decentralised way. They want to act as though things like BLM, defund the police, diversity, equity and inclusion, and Drag Queen Story Hour are diffuse and unconnected movements, when in fact they're all connected by their adherence to an underlying worldview and ideology. Do not let them use linguistic and rhetorical sleight of hand to hide their worldview. You do not need to give an exhaustive definition in every conversation. You can just call it Marxism. All you need is a definition of wokeness that communicates its ideas in a clear way so people can examine it. Neil Shenvi has offered a definition of wokeness which fits into a single tweet and which will work in a pinch if you find yourself on the spot with a woke activist. Wokeness in one tweet. Society is divided into oppressed, oppressor groups along lines of race, class, gender, sexuality, etc. via 2. Hegemonic power, but privileged people are blind, so 3. We need to defer to the lived experience of the marginalised, to 4. Dismantle unjust systems. Okay. Jeez. Another short definition that fits a tweet comes to use from Wildebeest 630, and is another short definition that you can use if a woke activist tries to say you don't know what woke is, or that woke is just a slur. Being woke means you think the system is structurally oppressive today, performance gaps prove this, and the solution is equity, not equality, equity. Below, I've given a more comprehensive definition of wokeness with a proper definition of wokeness now in view. I'm just going to call it Marxism because that's what it is, cultural Marxism. And we should now proceed to make sure that we carefully, accurately and carefully label things as critical social justice or woke when they fit that definition. Okay, what's this? Sometimes, woke, sometimes called critical social justice, is a type of social justice politics that claims systematic identity-based discrimination such as racism, sexism, homophobia, white privilege, and other sorts of injustices are baked into the fabric of society. In short, society is oppressive. They believe this occurs through systems of power which were created for the benefit of people who are white, straight, and male, at the expense of everyone else. Wait till they find out that the elite are actually homos and they're white and they're, let's not worry about that. They're into other things as well. This power operates through cultural hegemony, cultural dominance, and by socializing people into accepting the legitimacy of this oppressive system and accepting their place in it. Wokeness claims these systems of power warp every element of Western culture in a way that harms people, and for that reason all of society must be radically restructured. Everything, including science, knowledge, truth, beauty, economics, education, sports, music, film, agriculture, justice, and everything else on society are full of bigotries, biases, and self-interests, which are a product of the systems of power which were created by and for straight white males. On this view, even such things as math, biology, physics, and chemistry must be radically rebuilt with a focus towards diversity, equity and inclusion, social justice, anti-racism, and so forth. My God, this is giving me a headache. Wow, all these labels. The woke activists who label everyone they disagree with as racist, bigot, sexist, white supremacist, Nazi, fascist, transphobe, homophobe, ableist, misogynist, anti-black, absolutely do not get to complain when we label them as woke. It's one word for the whole thing. That topic over on Substack. So there you go. I think we've heard enough. Just call them woke. Marxists. Woke Marxists. Monica Crowley said the same people who told you that inflation was transitory are telling you the bank system is sound and the water in East Palestine is safe and clean. Really? I don't know. I really don't think... I just cracked my shoulder. I really don't think everything is hunky-dory, to be honest. Net Zero Watch said a farmers' protest party that is fighting government net zero plans to slash nitrogen emissions by buying out farms has stunned Dutch politics and will be the biggest party in the upper house of Parliament after provincial elections, because the Dutch are paid off. The Dutch farmers, very paid off. So they're going after the government. I believe they've been dumping poop on the government's buildings for a while, and their cars and stuff like that. Was that the Dutch? I'm pretty sure it was. Farmers need to do that more often. Dinesh D'Souza said, I used to laugh ruefully at this stuff. It's so characteristic of tin pot dictatorships. Then I noticed the same things happening here. Give us a decade or two and we'll see the surreal scene below enacted in Washington, D.C. We're heading in that direction. How things work? Bodyguards. Kim Jong-un's private bodyguards jogging in suits alongside his limo during talks with South Korea. Check it out. Oh, at least they're fit. See what they're teaching their men over there? How to be fit. There you go. Oh, no. The Gateway pundit said all in the family. House oversight shows daughter-in-law Haley Biden got China cash in 2017 while sleeping with her dead husband's brother, Hunter. People are wondering where there's all these Bidens connected in all this. The whole family. Seriously. Documents released by the House Oversight Committee reveal Hallie Biden, widow of Beau Biden, got in on the China cash the family was making. Okay, let's have a look. Breaking GOP Oversight's releases bank records showing the Biden family associate Rob Walker used his company to transfer money from a Chinese energy company to Hunter Biden, James Biden, Hallie Biden, and a fourth unknown Biden. That wouldn't be the granddaughter, would it? House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer revealed Thursday that subpoenaed bank records indicate President Biden's daughter-in-law, Hallie, was the previous unknown family recipient of Chinese cash in 2017. President Biden, who allegedly was the big guy mentioned in communications about the same Chinese venture, dined at Hallie Biden's residence last Friday during his regular weekend trip home to Delaware. It's unclear if they discussed the looming bombshell which Comer publicly released on Monday night on Fox News Hannity. The records show Hallie Biden received $35,000 over two transfers in 2017 from Biden family associate John Rob Walker after he received $3 million on March the 1st, 2017 from the Chinese State Energy HK Limited, a firm affiliated with CEFC China Energy. The first transfer to Haley from Robinson Walker LLC was for $25,000 on March 20 of that year, Comer wrote in a Thursday morning memo to committee members. In 2017, she opened up about her romance with her husband's brother. Now we know she was getting paid by the family at the same time. The younger son of President, 51-year-old Hunter, who has had his fair share of controversy, that is an understatement, revolving around his struggles with alcohol and drug addiction, entered into a romantic relationship with Hallie Biden in 2017, 2 years after Beau, his war veteran elder brother, died of brain cancer. That wasn't the only thing he was doing. He had children in there. Laptop's got kids on it, man. Seriously. Hunter Biden laptop. Go look it up. ALX... oh no. ALX said breaking. GOP oversight releases bank... Okay, yep, I just read that. Okay, Jordan Satchel said the head of global markets at Credit Suisse Bank is a mentally ill, gender-fluid man who sometimes believes he wakes up as a woman. Do we need to say more? Do we need... Get woke, go broke. Crazy. How many of them are there? This photo is from his LinkedIn page. Pips Bunce. He, she, her, they. She has been nominated as the Inspirational Role Model of the Year by the Bank of London. The brother was recently honoured by Facebook and said he's not going back to the gender-fluid closet. Stonewall said we're not going back in the closet and everybody just needs to get used to it. No, thank you. More awards for Mrs. Zay Unicorn. ABCDFG, HIJK, LMNOP. Openly, many argue that in order to create a truly diverse and inclusive workplace, one must realise that people have more than one identity. Not normal people, they don't. Unless you've got an identity disorder somewhere. Okay. Credit Suisse director Pips told us what intersectionality means to Shim.
Intersectionality to me means, we don't all fit into a nice single one box. I'm non-binary, I'm gender fluid, I'm trans, I'm many different things. We all, have so many different amazing attributes. To me, we're all the same but uniquely different.
Yeah, I think there's a problem. I really do. John Q, PhD, ONS Bull Detector, said war pigs. Claire Daly said armchair warmongering from Brussels shows a shameful lack of empathy for people dealing with the grueling realities of this war. As MEPs chant glory, Ukraine is burning through a generation of men never to be replaced. It's callous and insensitive to what is being lost. Oh, this Irish lady, she's a good one. Listen to this.
To the cheerleading in here, safe and secure, thousands of miles away from the front lines. I think it would be a useful exercise for us to remind ourselves about what ordinary Ukrainians are experiencing. The Economist reports of forced recruitment across the country. Draftees with no experience or training are being sent to the front in what a UK minister calls First World War levels of attrition. Casualty figures are secret, but we know they're estimates of about 120,000. Battalion commanders tell the Washington Post of recruits fleeing positions en masse. Politico reports a crackdown on deserters. These are human beings, and there is a shameful lack of empathy for ordinary people in the war rhetoric in here. The debate is about keeping the weapons flowing to keep the war going. Ukraine is burning through a generation of men, sons, husbands, brothers who can never be replaced. This cannot go on indefinitely. And ye sickening war generals who sit in here and will these men to our deaths, you make me sick. We need peace, we need dialogue, however unpleasant that may be. Listen.
Good on her. I like this lady, she's good. I've heard her before. Ron DeSantis said it's time we join 25 other states to enact constitutional carry in Florida. I think I read that one. I did have more down the bottom, but I think I'm going to leave it there. Oh, hang on. Let me just... Oh, and... Does that look... I don't know. People are saying boy, maybe? Don't know. There's more that I didn't read from yesterday. Where is it? Sorry, guys. Nope. Keep going. Keep scrolling. I had it on the place and then Twitter did its blank out thing and I lost it. Okay, I'm still... Oh my God. How far down was it? It was pretty far down. So I'm learning. Yep, it was way far down. Oh my goodness. And it was sitting there all night, and this morning it went blank and it updated and went back to the beginning. Okay, here we are. Tom Fitton said, hey everyone, you thought the only banking deposits up to $250,000 were insured? Wrong. Biden gang just effectively deemed taxpayers to be liable for insuring all bank deposits with no approval by a constitutionally pesky Congress. I don't know if that's true, but... Illuminati bot. Oh, shared George Carlin. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers, people who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shitty jobs with lower pay, longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime and vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And there's a helicopter. And now they're coming for your social security money. They want your retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this effing place. It's a big club and we ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. Now what's happening? Okay, Cole Burns. Hang on, let me see what this was about. Oh, the Baron of Burleigh said the Aboriginal so-called nation is dysfunctional. It's a ragtag of cultures from all over the world with no interest at uniting and still today go to war with other tribes. We throw mountains of money at them for no purpose with no outcome. A voice will not change a damn thing. And Cole Burns said, and where do Torres Strait Islanders fit in? They used to travel to the Cape, hit a few Aboriginals on the head and eat them. When I lived on Thursday Island, woe betide if you lumped Islanders in with Aboriginals. That was seriously offensive. But they do. They say Aboriginal, Torres Strait Island. They're lumping them all into one, you know. They're not the same thing. Aussie bot said push back on 1984 Big Brother tactics. Don't let it happen. Craig Kelly said to the Klaus Schwab acolytes that have infested the Labour, Liberal, National and Greens a warning. If you try and restrict the free movement of Australia with your 15-minute cities, expect civil disobedience There's plenty of blokes with portable angle grinders ready to fight back. You ready for this one? I don't think we need to hear it, but he's these 15-minute city little things, they're taking them out. Oh dear. Go guys. Oh dear. Meanwhile in Melbourne, go woke, get woke, go broke. Silicon Valley Bank had no head of risk assessment for 9 months before it collapsed, as woke boss for Europe, Middle East and Africa was busy organising a month-long pride campaign and a lesbian visibility day. Nothing about banking. Don't worry about the bank. Just, yeah, carry on. Get woke, go broke. Illuminati bot said few people realise just how saturated the United Nations and the European Union are with Satanism. The United Nations has all of their materials printed by the Lucis Trust, originally founded in 1922 as the Lucifer Trust. And I don't even know what this is. Holy crap. Oh. This guy is walking with an umbrella, okay? You can't you can just see the umbrella every now and then, right? So you don't walk around with an umbrella in a thunderstorm. He gets hit because the umbrella is like a lightning rod. Yeah, do not hold an umbrella in a thunderstorm. You're better off walking along. You probably might still get hit by lightning, but you're probably better off walking without the umbrella, because that's just not asking for it. I'm not saying you did, but it's a lightning rod. Same as a golf thing. A golf thing, you know. It's not a bat. A golf club, that's it. A golf club, don't hold one of them up in a thunderstorm. Harvey Yamina said, go woke, get woke, go broke. No, Current Affairs said, vengeful vegans. Not everyone is happy that bacon is back on the menu at this cafe. Animal lovers were quick to pounce on the eatery, but the reason for the switch up might not be as sinister as they think. Vegan cafe introduces meat to save their business. Yeah, you can try with the vegan stuff. I don't know if it'll actually last, but hey, have a go. No, I did. It made me really sick, so I wouldn't recommend it. But look, everyone does their own thing. Eric Matheny said Jacob Chansley got 41 months because he was a symbolic image of January 6. You know, the guy with the horns and the American flag on his face. He did nothing egregious, but his costume stood out, and he became the representation of all January 6 defendants, and the government persecuted him to send a message. He should be released immediately. Yeah. I thought he was an actor. Sorry, but I did. Okay, Tracy Beans said, I'm really looking forward to this film. Check some out here. Never forget that the vast majority of humans are good. Also never forget that the bad ones always disguise themselves as compassionate saviours. They often launder their crimes behind the veil of benevolently branded charities and organisations. One of the architects, where was I up to, of this deceitful racket is Mr. Bill Gates, whose own wife left him after learning the dark details of his ties with pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. I reckon they separated so that he could transfer all his money over to her so it didn't get taken off him. Together we can expose and stop greedy monopolists like Mr. Gates. Please watch and share the real Bill far and wide. How long does that go for? 18 minutes. I will not show 18 minutes worth of it, but this bloke is an absolute drongo.
Reality tells another story. That Bill Gates was born into wealth and privilege. Both his grandfather and great-grandfather were banking muggles. His father, William Gates Sr., was a prominent Seattle-based lawyer and political lobbyist. Through his father, Bill Gates learned the ins and outs of law and politics and how to manipulate those governing forces.
I'm Bill Gates, chairman of Microsoft.
Bill Gates dropped out of college to start Microsoft. He is credited with inventing the operating system that became Windows. However, he played no part in the invention of Windows. The fact is, he bought an existing operating system from Seattle Computer Products, had it modified, then licensed it to IBM. That didn't stop him from taking all the credit.
I don't see Bill Gates as this great creative person. I see him as an opportunist.
While Microsoft's co-founder Paul Allen was struggling with cancer, Bill Gates seized the opportunity by attempting to cheat him out of his share.
I've got to be careful playing this because I think it's
of the company's fortune.
They were basically talking about how they were planning to dilute my share down to almost nothing. And it was really a shocking and disheartening moment for me.
And you were sick?
Well, I think I was still probably in the middle of radiation therapy.
Check him out.
Gates' business strategies came under fire in 1998 when the United States Department of Justice sued Microsoft for antitrust violations.
This is tape 3 of the videotape deposition of Bill Gates on September.
During the 18-month trial, Gates gave hours of videotape testimony.
What were the non-Microsoft browsers that you were concerned about in January of 1996?
That month.
Yes, sir.
And what about it?
What non-Microsoft browsers were you concerned about in January of 1996?
I don't know, what do you mean concerned?
How on earth has this guy done anything? Why do people think he's smart? He sounds like an absolute idiot.
What is it about the word concerned that you don't understand?
I'm not sure what you mean by it.
The Justice Department has charged Microsoft.
I honestly, he's an idiot. How in the... I think we know how he got there. Okay, Rob Schneider said once you know the truth, you can't unsee it, you can't unhear it, you can either choose to ignore it or acknowledge it for what it is. The greatest medical crime in world history. Okay, they know there's a little known federal law that says you cannot give an emergency youth authorization to a jab if there's any medication approved for any purpose that's shown effective against the same thing, which there was, and it was this thing here. That's why they banned it. And the HCQ. Patrick Henningsen said, EU farmers are mobilising in Brussels. They are rebuking very the same things you and nearly everyone else is against. A brutal WEF technocracy, green scams and the destruction of the economy and food supply. This is what they got to do to get people into 15-minute cities, see? They got to pull the whole thing down. Look, see, there's heaps of farmers. Farmers are getting on board. Anna Paulina Luna said, I've notified Capitol Police of Jane Fonda's call to murder pro-life politicians. I'm a pro-life member of Congress, and as she did not retract or clarify that she was joking with her statement, we are taking this threat as a serious one. Jane Fonda and The View must issue a full retraction of Fonda's sickening call to murder pro-life politicians and those who fight for the rights of unborn babies. Calling for the murder of pro-life politicians is not only dangerous, but it's incredibly sick. This leads to targeting and can result in someone being seriously hurt. The View should be ashamed that they condone violence, especially against women, elected officials, as we are already targeted way more for stalking and violence, more than our male counterparts. So there you go. Jane Fonda did make threats. She should be held accountable. Okay. What's this one? Yeah, no, it's already seen that one. We've already seen that. Nick Holt said the Doherty Institute and the CCP. Some of you may not know that in early 2020, the Doherty Institute in Australia awarded the contract for Australia's real-time PCR test to the Beijing Genomics Institute, BGI. BGI was flagged as part of the Chinese Communist Party's strategy of military-civil fusion. Senator Tom Cotton and Representative Gallagher in 2021, thanks to at least $1.5 billion in CCP subsidies, BGI has grown to become China's biotech national champion and now manages China's national gene database. BGI has used its dominant position to further the CCP's strategic goals by acquiring sensitive health data from the rest of the world. Collecting data? DNA at all? BGI also attempted to take advantage of the pandemic to acquire US data, reaching out to the governors of 6 states with offers to build advanced COVID-19 testing labs before top US intelligence officials convinced state to reject it. The CCP's focus on biotech also extends to biotech's potential military applications. The former head of the People's Liberation Army, PLA, National Defense University identified biology as one of the 7 new domains of warfare, including the possibility of specific ethnic genetic attacks in a 2017 publication. BGI has a history of collaboration with the PLA and serving the PLA's interests. A review of 40 publicly available research papers demonstrates BGI's work on PLA priorities, such as improved high-altitude soldier performance, neuroscience, and pathogens. Tom Cotton and Rep Gallagher wrote, joint BGI-PLA research could have an application in future bioweapons, which is especially concerning because BGI's National Gene Bank is presumably made available for military research, so they know exactly how to aim viruses at certain genetics. Lauren Boebert said no bailouts, period. Absolutely, positively no bank bailouts. Taxpayers have zero responsibility to bail out irresponsible banks. I agree. Okay, I think I'm going to leave the news there. I don't know if anything else has popped up since I started, so I did try to collect as much information as I possibly could. Okay, so what's going on here? Oh, my chat jumped again. Sorry, guys. Okay, where are we? King Snurgle Gurgleson, how you going? Missy T, how you going? Okay, King Snurgle said, I asked the shop assistant what it was all about. Another guy came to the door. Same thing happened. She said it is checking who is about to enter before letting them in. Does this on the way out. I've missed all the comments before that, guys. Missy T said, hi, Anne. MJ said facial recognition. Darren said, Missy, it would be quicker to list the non-offenders. Oh, I believe you're talking about politicians and elite, maybe. Deb said, I think I've heard about that, King. Anne said, woke is seeing problems that don't exist and gaslighting everyone till they do exist. Pretty much. Alex said, I remember during the pandemic trying to get into Marks and Spencer's service station and it was automatically locking people out if there were too many people in the shop. That was a test. People bought it and went along with it. No way. Really? Hey, Anne, how you doing? My answer was that it will be facial recognition, that will soon be checking out if you are vaccinated with full identity cards, all in order, or no shopping. Just don't let them. See what that guy did with his grinder, whatever it is? I don't know. I'm not saying do that. I'm laughing at it. Menacing Muskrat said, Anne, Yellen is definitely an odd duck, just like NASA, never a straight answer. Yeah, she's like a dinosaur. She's been there for a long time. Susie said, Snurgles, I think there will be fuel shortages of all kinds. Missy T said the health passport. King Snurgle said the lady screwed her face up and agreed, didn't like it, but they know what's coming. Alex said I wish I could read the comments before. I'm trying to guess what you guys are talking about. Alex said they've been gathering people's facial recognition for years using their mobile phones, definitely. Missy T said any camera can be hacked from outside. Darren said that's the plan. King, notice how all the privacy laws faded in the background with everyone taking photos and videos everywhere. We had a right not to be on camera. Anne said I wanted to go cut the strings on her mouth. The puppeteer was very Slow. That took me a while. I might be slow too. No. Missy T said, in monitors, I said I get my own supernatural experiences from the Lord himself are finally about to leave. Well, the dead in Christ shall rise, and the babies and children and animals and the saved in Christ. MJ said zero camo, zebra camo, amazing. It is, isn't it? When they're all together, it looks like an optical illusion is what I was trying to say. It looked like an optical illusion. All those zebras. King Snurgle said, Missy T, I think it's more about sensors than the cams. As time goes on, the JAD can be read due to the tech in them. Scanners. Alex said, in their fingerprints, it also just come out that anyone who wanted to find out about their family tree and gave their DNA is now owned by Blackstone. King Snurgle said, airport's already doing this. Missy T said, yes, any device can be hacked from outside. Alex said, my family did the family tree thing the good old-fashioned way. Yeah. Susie said, my phone, computer and tablet cams are all covered. Yep. So are mine. I can shut this camera off, and I've got tape over all my cameras on the phones. King Snurgle said, Alex, they can't own the unjabbed yet, but they can create copyright over genes. Alex said, it's worrying how vulnerable people are using their devices. Sometimes you're best off leaving them at home. Captain Whippersnapper said, woke or not cis? A C's? Darren said, copywriting genes is stealing from God. Alex said, that's what they want, King Snurgle. I said, oh, my stomach's growling. And I ate just before I came on here. This is insane. Everything's insane right now to me. I'm just sitting here going, oh, you got to be kidding me. I said, my family don't believe. I warned them if they don't submit to Christ and believe and repent, they'll be hurt. Never mince your words. Missy T said, and people have been sending DNA for years, testing the military has been keeping. Yeah, 23andMe and all them. King Snurgle said, the full lockdown for installation of digital ID and digital money is coming very soon. Alex said, again, that's what they want, Darren. They want to keep us as far away from God as possible. I agree. Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Said Ancestry, Family Tree, 23andMe, they own your DNA, Alex. Yep. Alex said, yeah, I think it's Blackstone that own it, Muskrat. Captain Whippersnapper said, brainwashing courtesy of Herbert Marcuse through Hollyweird programming. Menacing Muskrat said, also, is you took the Jabberwocky, they own the mRNA? Oh, the Jabberwocky, the jab. Alex said, I think there are several of them that own people's DNA. I said, read the Bible, King James Version. Anyone that refuses Christ, the punishment is death. Alex said, terrifying stuff, especially if they have minds like the Nazis. Missy T said, the military keep an eye on records, NHS numbers. Menacing Muskrat said, Missy T, indeed. Captain Whippersnapper said, politically correct brainwashing has been a favourite form of entertainment for these broken individuals. Alex said, after June the 1st, if who get their way, they will be able to force. I think things are going to happen before then, Alex. I really, really do. I really do. I don't think it'll get that far. I've said that before. King Snurgle said, menacing Muskrat, the Jabberwoonies are already classified as non-human modified identities. They're already owned. Like GMOs. I said, the rulers of darkness on this planet, the elites are going to be killed by the Father that sitteth on the throne. I think they've got a way to overturn things. I think there's a way that any damage done by those things could be reversed if they haven't been given saline. Oh, God, I hope they have. My whole family got it. I don't want anything to happen to them. Nor anyone else who took it. Because they were tricked into it. Missy T said, people sending info for ancestry reasons has been saved. Alex said, we're heading down a very scary path. Well, everything is leading towards transhumanism, which means you blend with a computer and you're no longer alive. a live human being, really. You're in the Matrix, full on in the Matrix. If you think we're in a simulation now, just wait until they get their way with transhumanism. Oh my goodness, you'll never be able to walk out of the house without your phone. There'll be no more money. Actually, everyone will just be slaves. That's how it's meant to be. That's how they want it. They'll kill a lot of people and the rest will be slaves. King Snurgle said the experiment was also about giving up all human freedoms. Alex said, yes, Missy T came out the other day that Blackstone now own that DNA. Menacing Muskrat said Clonaid is a Canadian-run company in the Bahamas. Go figure. Really? Yeah, Missy T saved for many... They've been saving DNA for many, many years. And bioweapons made a target. Deb said the water in Ohio is safe to drink. Cool. Yeah, I heard that was a false flag thing. I don't know, but just that's what I was hearing. Void said Russian Bolsheviks. MJ said go Dutch farmers. Woo woo. Yep, definitely. Alex said that was done under the radar too, like everything else. Menacing Muskrat said, and France dropping manure. Yes, yes. I believe more. That should happen a lot more. I really do. Darren said, someone farted and made me leave the room. Have to catch up now. Void said, looks a lot like the UK NHS during COVID. JJ Willis said, hey, all hope everyone is well. You too, JJ. King Snuggle said, a WHO whistleblower has supposedly admitted what was in the jabs, including parasites and those squid-like things. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Alex said, I think I've seen that before. Muppets running around a car. MJ said, your dog, Darren. I said, final deadly warning to Five Eyes in Australia and the NSA in Virginia. You will come down like a bag of shit. Final warning, I never mince my words. Darren said, I don't have a dog, MJ. I have cats, but they all deny it. Everyone's saying, hey, Void, how you going? King Snurgle said, more parasites are about to be released through the controlled mains water. Very nasty, genetically modified parasites. I think all this is scaremongering, like a lot of it. I don't know. I really do. Because what I learnt is when I stopped believing the news and went conspiracy route, right? When I did that, I realised you can't just stop believing mainstream news and believe every conspiracy theory. They're not all true. You got to be very careful. So, and a lot of it, when it's done like that, I believe it's just fear, meant to make everyone scared. I don't know. I could be wrong. MJ said cats never do anything wrong. Look you right in the eye too. Susie said, Darren, whoever smelt it usually dealt it, buddy. Anne said, I had chili stuffed cabbage last night. Oh, wow. Chili stuffed cabbage. I said a grave warning to Five Eyes again. You have been warned. God's going to release his vengeance on the wicked. Darren said it was me earlier. Susie had to leave the room then too. D. Lee said, I thought they already released it in the Water King. I don't know. I don't know. I'm very, very careful. Yeah. When I think it's something that's going to make people scared of doing something, if you're worried, collect your rainwater. Okay, everyone's wondering who farted to make everyone leave the room. Anne said one smart fella, he felt smart. Hey, Wheezy, how you going? Hey, Hattie T. Hello, Miss Hev, everyone. King Snurgle said what Gate was thinking of doing through mosquitoes is now going to be accomplished by biting parasites. And everyone's saying, hey, Wheezy, how you doing? And Wheezy said, hey, everyone. Darren said, what is inspirational about a tranny? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't find anything inspirational, sorry. At all. I find confusion and maybe some mental problems. And Weezy said, Secretary T, Missy T. I said, sooner the NSA and FBI and CIA regional officers are... Oh, I can't say that out loud, eyes. Get me in trouble there. MJ said, I hope that bank goes belly up, pips. Weezy said, Hev, will you be searching deep fakes again? No. Not unless I do it, like, off camera and find what I'm actually looking for. Not those, other ones. I don't want to see that. Missy T said, they make this shit up. Susie said, Darren, you could be lactose intolerant. Better invest in a fart blanket. Those are for people with... Oh, no, you guys. What's the fart talk? Darren said, if he wants intersectionality, then make him stand in the middle of an intersection. Yeah. Missy T said, go on, Hev. What is... Wheezy said, Susie Fraser, you just described me. Where your farts will wake you up from a dead sleep because they're so bad. Oh, dear. MJ said, Susie, for real? Oh, my God. Darren said, that just delays it. Oh, you guys. Anne said, the Bible is turning the description of God and Jesus to transgender. Which Bible? Weezy said he knocks himself sometimes. I said, YouTube bots, bad, you are the weakest link, goodbye. King Snowball said, Susie, I'll buy my missus one of those. Oh, my goodness, you guys. Void said, MJ, I bet it's pure polythene. JJ said, I want to give her hair a brush. The Irish lady, yeah, it looked like she'd been sitting there putting, like, her hands through her hair constantly, or someone did that to her head. Anne said there was a guy who farted so much in his sleep he suffocated from lack of oxygen. Oh, my goodness. Alex said, yeah, they never send themselves in to fight these so-called wars. Sickening. Yeah, exactly. MJ said, still talking about farts. Dealey said, JJ was thinking, what's up with her hair? Yeah, I was thinking that while I was watching it too. It looks like someone's ruffled her hair. Mine just looks like I've stuck my finger in a power socket at the moment. Shock. I said, no, peace, darling, World War III coming up, and then some. Anne said, I read that somewhere, maybe he graduated from PU. Void said, MJ, I refuse to believe they're real. MJ said, that boy was preggers last I heard. JJ Willow said, yep, Dealey. Alex is laughing, saying hey to Wheezy, how you going? I said, yeah, I was about to give the orders. And Wheezy said, hello, Alex. And MJ said, lactose intolerance, some people can't give up ice cream or cheese. Where did all these lactose intolerant and gluten intolerant and where did that all come from? When you're young. Customers for life. JJ said, MJ, that boy had dirty knees. Missy T said, pass the deep fakes, Hev. You guys. Wheezy said, boo. King Snuggle said, I want... Oh, you guys with your farting blankets and stuff. Okay, let me get past it. Wheezy said, George Carlin was a legend. JJ said, MJ, yep, I felt like crying when I saw him, her. Void said, Mr. Khan is killing my country's capital. Mr. T said, yep. Anne said, my friend started taking Lactaid and that helped a lot with cheese and ice cream he couldn't give up. I said, all electricity and gas will be out forever, including backup generators once the trumpets blow. This is fact, including all cars, vans, trucks. They run by electricity, the Lord is warned. And said, helped him, lol. Menacing Muskrat said, JJ Willow, MJ, I noticed that too. Dirty knees when coming down the plane stairs. Yes. I said that yesterday on the video, like, why? Why does that young person have dirty knees? I think we can imagine. Joe Biden's a sick man. Darren said, when will the English get reparations from the British, mainly European settlers? Susie said, Snuggles, you just bought her followers. Don't follow. Oh, you guys. Alex said, bloody right, I'll be pushing back on 15, 20-minute cities too. Yes. Deb said, go Aussie. JJ said, you menacing muskrat. Yep, and disheveled looking defeated. Mrs. said, timber. King Snurgle said, communism is totally Zionist idea. They think they can get away with the Russia and Eastern European job on the West. Anne said, wow, you get a 20-minute city. Now you're just bragging. Yeah, well, I'm 15 minutes from the nearest shopping centre at least. No, I like going down the mountain as well. 25 minutes one way or 15 minutes the other way. Not going to lock me into a 15-minute city. I'm going to go every which way I want to. Stuff them. I said the bots are blocking my messages, but Hev should see them, I hope. Darren said African pirates took whole villages from England for slaves. I wanted to say, Deb said, been a member for 8 months. Love being a member. God love you. And thank you, Deb, as well for the super chat. We're noisy today. Darren said African pirates took whole villages from England for slaves. Yeah, I believe the Arabs also took the Irish and the English for slaves, and maybe the Africans too, I don't know. Susie said, Alex, it's a real thing, but they let Africa sold their own people to slavery. Yeah, Susie said, Alex, it's a real thing, doesn't let the... Guys. Okay, Alex said, oh shit, poor guy. Mr. T said, crikey. MJ said, poor guy. Oh, the guy being struck by lightning, yes. But if you're in a thunderstorm, good idea maybe not to have an umbrella. Menacing Muskrat said, JJ Willow, have you seen the video of Brandon whipping a poor young woman? No. I don't think I want to see that. I wouldn't get that out of my head. And I've already got things in my head that I wish I hadn't seen. King Snuggle Gurgleson said, Susie, definitely not a saint. Pardon me. She's just an American. Those girls know how to stand their ground usually. Darren said, but how do you remove it, Susie? Oh. Anne said, he's still alive, poor guy. MJ said, I bet he's psychic now. Hey, Michelle Epp, how you doing? I said, all the lightning strikes are controlled by Father Yahweh from the throne. You reckon he did something wrong to deserve that? Oh, no. Alex said, I've never heard of that, but way to go on whoever invented it. Probably experienced enough Dutch ovens over that. Oh, you guys are still going on it. Darren said, if you have a bad back, it can take 15 minutes to get to the end of the path. Yeah, exactly. Michelle Epp said, hello, Deb. Anne said, honey, I have something shocking to tell you. MJ said, sorry, Michelle. One-eye Michelle. Darren said, we could fit everyone with pipes so the gas can be reused. Oh, here comes the recycle collectors. Deb said, what's that, Anne? King Snurgle said, I'm putting new batteries in this useless Chinese wireless keyboard yet again. If I run out, can I rely on you, Alex, for any more spares? Menacing Muskrat said, thumbs it up, folks. Thank you. Anne said, I was pretending to be that poor guy who got struck by lightning. And Wheezy said, Bill Gates likes pies to the face. Did you see him doing that? Like he's a drug addict? Like rocking back and forward? JJ said, be careful talking about it's the cows, then it'll be the humans. Menacing Muskrat still said Gilly Bates is a bloodsucker. MJ said moguls. Susie said, just saying I don't see any coronation taking place or Chuckles being king. I have a funny feeling it's going to go before then. Tiki Doll said, lol, pie to the face. Wheezy said, visited Epstein Island over 39 times. He did, Bill Gates. He was right up in there. And said, one day I'm going to count the columns on the Capitol building because I swear they're multiplying. It looks fancier every time I see it. And there are columns on top now. Saw them stirring. Oh, during speaker debate. King Snuggle said, Alex, not very long, I don't think. I've done 3 months of training in 3 hours. I think things are going to speed up rapidly from here on in. That's what I think. Darren said, Gates made money from other people's work. He sure did. Yeah, I think things are going to speed up rapidly from here on in too, because once they know that once most people are awake, they can just spill out the information even more. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Anne said it's holding up the statue. Susie said that's little Gates. Yep, he's autistic. Said Missy T. Yeah, he could be. JJ Willis said, lol, Anne, you had it right the first time. MJ said, douchebag. Missy T said, and a sicko. Deb said, don't even know English. Tiki Doll said, we're so focused on the old guys, gals, and we got to look at what the children, grands, and great-grands. Deb said, money buy anything. Menacing Muskrat said, Gilly Bates is a victim or a great actor. Alex said, Billy Kermit the Frog Gates, drunk on power. Anne said he was put there. They all are, aren't they? They're groomed for the job. A lot of them. Susie Fraser said, Gates stims like someone who is... he's acting like someone who's autistic. Alex said, I wish I had a tractor. Missy T said he's on the spectrum. Darren said, you must have a huge garden, Alex. Alex said, I got a brand new combine harvester. Anne said, yes, Asperger's. Okay. Susie said, Kermit is way cuter, you guys. Yeah, than Bill Gates, yeah. MJ said the consistent rocking is trauma or other things. Yeah, it can also be drugs. I have seen people on drugs doing that. Anne said she thinks my tractor's sexy. JJ Willow said, Alex, you don't need a tractor to pull that combine harvester. Don't you need a tractor to pull that combine harvester? Darren said, you have to be a cider drinker too, Alex. That's why our roads are so curvy. Alex said, yeah, I feel sorry for Kermit that Bill hijacked his voice. Anne said, Asperger's includes rocking back and forth. Yeah, but how many... Like, that would be a very rare thing for Bill Gates being the age he is for someone to have Asperger's. I don't know. He could have it, but is it from inbreeding? Not everyone else's, I mean his, you know. I don't know. Because I hadn't heard of Asperger's or autism before the late 80s, early 90s. I don't know. Maybe I'm just silly. And I hadn't heard of it. Susie said, has Bill Gates ever been seen hand flapping like Barron Trump? I don't know. Menacing Muskrat said, exactly, MJ, some sort of abuse. MJ said, Darren, hey George, how you going? JJ Willow said, Alex doesn't need a tractor to pull a combi. She pulls it herself, big strong girl. Where'd that go? It's just jumped on me again. Okay. I just have to go to where I said, Hev, did you watch the link video I sent from Gigi? She's true, never lies, honey. I don't have time right now, Eyes. I'm so sorry. I've got to go and move like a chicken coop. Oh, and possibly set up the other one. I have so much to do right now, and I have to mow the lawn. So, and I had to do a stream. And I've been babysitting. Oh, if I have time, Eyes, I will watch it. Hey David, g'day from WA. Deb said I'm lactose intolerant. Rudy said it's 6:50 p.m. Central. I have something in my eye. An eyeball. No, apart from the eyeball. Okay, Alex said buffering. Oh, hang on. It has to be a hair or something, or an eyelash. Okay. Menacing Muskrat said in 2017, Barry and Bunny Sherman, who were Canadian millionaires, were murdered. Now this independent broadcaster research is connecting it back to Trudeau. I remember that. They made HCQ. Darren said, hold on, Hev. Alex has a slow connection. Hey, Timmy, how you doing? Oh, I'm 3 weeks away from being cleared to put full weight on my leg. I can't wait to walk again. You won't believe this, though. My roommate fell and broke his leg, too. No way, Timmy. Really? Oh, my goodness. Prayers for you guys, both of you. MJ said, menacing, I love you for sharing that. We know what they did. We know. And Deb said, hey, Timmy. And Susie said, Snurgles. Shannon wrapped up laughing so hard I'm crying. I need a laugh like that. Thank you so much. I must have missed it because my chat jumped again. I couldn't get back. And I was in the middle of reading a comment. How rude is that? Everyone's saying, Timmy. Alex said, Darren just had to refresh. Menacing Muskrat said, Timmy, awesome. So great to hear. Yeah. Be good that you'll be on your feet soon, but sad that your roommate broke his too. Deb said, thank you, Hev. I said, the real child pedo Joe Biden is dead in the gates of hell, being tortured and punished and screaming in pain until he stands in judgment before Christ when the books are open before the lake. Tim said, my roommate broke his leg 3 inches below where mine broke. He had the same surgery I had. It's crazy weird. Oh my goodness. MJ said, we were indentured. We got fancy name for slavery. Hey NC girl, how you going? First slaves brought to America were Irish children. There you go. I believe the first slaves in Australia were Aboriginals and Irish and English prisoners. I'm not sure. But I believe they enslaved a few of them. Menacing Muskrat said, you are most welcome. Susie said, oh, Timmo, we missed you. Glad you're here. Were you under the covers for the last hour? Dooley said, that's wild, Timmo. George said, the Celtic people are good people. Deb said, poor Shannon is missing out on the fun we're having. King Snurgle said, you're very welcome, Susie. A joke at Shannon's expense is always a good thing. He's a big enough boy to take my shit. Alex said, Thetford communities stand against 20-minute neighbourhoods. Excellent. I think a lot of people are going to stand up this time compared to last time. During the lockdowns, not many people stood up and said, hey, none of this. But I think this time we're going to see a lot. Oh dear, Friday mornings. MJ said he had an electric heartbeat and an umbrella is all. Selena said, I caught you. Hey Selena, how you doing? Deb said, my ex-husband and his friend would always share themselves with the room before leaving smelly farts. Guys. King Snurgle said, new batteries going in now. I'm depending on you, Alex, for the next ones. Darren said, oh my goodness. You guys on your dinosaur farts must have been bad. The climate was much hotter then. Alex said, oh no, Timmy, I hope he's okay and your leg is repairing well. Deb said, Gates is a parasite, definitely. MJ said, Darren, their relatives enjoyed... Oh my goodness, you guys and these farts. Enough. Oh. Seriously. George said, oh my goodness, even George, you're into it too now. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to go past that. Deb said they just want to get rid of red meat. And I've jumped again. Eyelash in the eye is the worst. It's still there. I can feel it's tickling me when I blink. Hey, Paul, greetings from Brisbane. Good to see ya. Yeah, I can't go back. Darren said, until you try to remove the eyelash with greasy fingers, MJ. I said, Hev, you need to watch this today at some point. Only 20. Well, I'll try and watch it tonight. David said, thought so, Alex. I remember it well. You got 40 acres and I got 23. Lol, but they... Hey, the brand new harvester's all mine. I'll lend you the key. Nursing Muskrat said, Heaven sent, have you watched the series called The Chosen? No, I haven't. There's a link there, though. Darren said, Mia Spear doesn't have the same ring to it. Okay. Oh, jumped again. Alex said, I've seen testimonies of people who had their children jabbed in stages and some not jabbed at all, and those that were jabbed had problems. The jabs are getting stronger now too. Paul said, someone posted that Gates has gone, caught first. I hope so. First arrest will shock the world. Hopefully it's Gates. I said, Hev, I'll resend it. Alex said, it's not just isolated incidents, but MSM never highlights any of it. It's infuriating. Deb said, I'm standing up to say, where is Shannon? I have no idea. David said, Planet Earth is my neighbourhood. Alex is laughing and showing the love. King Snuggle said, Deb, looked like no one bothered to release him from his fart blanket. Oh my goodness, guys. MJ said, Alex, try not to think of the children who got, it'll break me. Yeah. Oh, I feel sorry for anyone who got it, honestly, because they were misled by the people in charge saying, yeah, no, you need it. It's good. You have to, if you want to work. Darren said, Deb, with smell-o-vision, you get what you pay for. Alex said, I know they're feeding the general public garbage, though, as more people aren't awake. Alex said, I know how you feel, MJ. David said, I know, more comments needed. Hev's catching up. George said, a lot of brainwashed people, Alex. I'm going to have to go anyway. I'm hungry, and I just ate before I came on. I cannot believe it. I should eat more then. I said, Heaven sent and delivered. Cool. Alex said, Shannon was here earlier. Maybe he's working or taking children to school. Love you, Shannon. MJ said, quick, more comments. Deb said, I love the cooking video. Oh, good. It was very short, wasn't it? Because I forgot to turn it on. Kept forgetting to turn it on. The camera. D-Lee said, Kai was here earlier too. Oh, hello, Kai, if you're there. King Snuggle said, Alex, you're letting this side down. Hev's going to get it up easy this time. And Alex said, yes, there are, George. I know. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. It's going to be a short one, but I will be back tomorrow for the normal weekly live stream. So I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye, guys. Now, what's going on here?
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and where I'll go in life, still nobody knows. But I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes, and ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Way back a year ago.